Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Serein and my channel is called Rest Yourself Happy. Welcome back to Makeup Bag Monday number 11, I believe. I think I lost count. Basically, every week I do a weekly makeup bag rotation and review. I try to rotate makeup that I kind of maybe forgot about, longtime favorites, and I do incorporate new products that are sent to me or that I picked up at the store to kind of see if it's really worth the money or if I still love it as much as I used to. So you guys have really been enjoying this makeup bag rotation and weekly reviews. If you missed any of the makeup bag Mondays, I do have a playlist on my channel, but I will also have it in the description box and you can catch up on all of the makeup bag Mondays and see what has been going on and what have I rediscovered, purged, or really decided I really loved and forgot about. So let's get started in last week's review of the products I picked out, which were very, very high end. So let's see if it's worth the money. First product is the Laura Mercier Secret Concealer for Under Eyes. I have the shade 2.5. I wanted to try this out for those of us with a little bit more of a dry under eye area and who maybe found that the Tarte Shape Tape wasn't just right for you. I think that if you did not like the Tarte Shape Tape, you would really enjoy the Laura Mercier under eye concealer. The reason I think that is because both of these are very, very pigmented, but the reason I think the Tarte Shape Tape doesn't work for some of you guys is because it's a little drying and it just like flattens out a bit. This is very, very creamy and emollient. It's very pigmented still, so it's going to get rid of any of that darkness. If you have severely dark under eyes, I do recommend color correcting first with a red or an orange. Now, with this, I recommend setting it immediately, and you want to use a really finely milled powder like the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, which is perfect for setting under your eyes. You can also use the LA Girl HD setting powder. That is very similar to the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Under Eye setting powder, and both of them have the same kind of texture. A lot of the ingredients are the same. I feel like the Laura Mercier one is a little bit easier to work with because it's not overly white, whereas the LA Girl one, you have to be very, very diligent to not over apply, otherwise you will get that weird like white cast. That's my tip with using this, is right after you apply the under eye, you want to set it immediately. Don't give it any time to crease because it will crease into your fine lines if you do not set it. And I would not recommend using any sort of foundation powders or any solid powders. This is something that you really want to set with a very finely milled loose powder. Other than that, I've been really enjoying this and I've loved it so much that I didn't really want to pick out a new concealer to test out for this week because I still want to keep using this. I also did do a full face using Laura Mercier products, kind of a Tester Tuesday, how things are wearing. Most of it was new products, some of it was revisiting some products, and you guys really enjoyed that makeup tutorial / first impression / wear test, and I decided to do that this week for tomorrow's Tester Tuesday with Urban Decay Cosmetics. I'm going to be testing out the new Naked Basics palette, and I'm going to be testing out the Naked foundation, which I've never tested before, and then of course the concealers I've used before and some of the other products, but I'm very excited to do that again for you guys, so come back tomorrow for that video. Next products are the Laura Mercier Eye Basic, and these are essentially an eye brightener, an eye base, eyeshadow base. And I really, really like these with the right kind of eyeshadow. You use this with the Artist palette from Laura Mercier, it works beautifully. And I think because the Laura Mercier eyeshadow palette is really, really soft, so soft that I find a lot of the colors will like blend together if you don't get a really nice sticky base. And this is what this is going to be. I prefer the shade Cotton because I do have a lot of veins and darkness on my eyelid. So the shade Cotton not only helps even out my eyelid, it helps brighten it and gets rid of a lot of the veininess and darkness and providing a nice base. So using this and then using the Laura Mercier Artist palette works really, really well because before I was using the Artist palette with my other eyeshadow primers and I didn't really think it was that impressive or worth the money. But when you use it with a very sticky base and a brightening base, it works beautifully, as you can see in my Tester Tuesday last week using all Laura Mercier products. If you wanted something that was going to work all around in terms of an eye base, this is not going to be the product for you because when I was using this with the Studio Makeup eyeshadow palette that I got at BoxyCharm, it was a little too sticky and it was making it really hard to blend. So this could be a little bit too difficult for those of us with different eyeshadow palettes. And the other ones I could think of is like any of the Morphe palettes. This would be kind of hard to work with, and potentially any of the Makeup Forever shadows even. So with that being said, you might want something like the Urban Decay 24/7 eyeshadow primer or the Too Faced Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer. Those are good, universally workable eyeshadow bases and primers. It's going to be for that super sticky grab on the product. Now, again, just because it's stickier doesn't mean you can't make it work. I used it with my Marc Jacobs palette this week, and it does work. You just have to realize that you do not need to pick up as much eyeshadow and you need to blend a lot more. Or you can set it with a powder and then go in with your makeup, but this stuff really just clings on to the eyeshadow, which is why it makes your eyeshadow not smudge, not budge, not move all freaking day. Do I like this product? Yes. Do I think it's perfect for everything? No. I think it's a really good product if you have really, really oily eyelids, really sweaty eyelids, very humid weather, and if you're using soft eyeshadows like the Kevyn Aucoin, like the Laura Mercier, and potentially like Burberry even. Do you recommend it? But not as like the only product you have in your makeup collection. Okay, so moving on to the first palette I want to talk about. I was testing out the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit for this year, and the packaging is to die for. It comes with 5 powders, 2 blushes, 1 bronzer, 1 highlight, and then an all-over setting powder that kind of just illuminates your face. Now, I have to say, I got a lot of questions about this palette being good for every skin tone and skin type. I do not recommend this palette if you are any darker than me. Maybe a little darker than me, a little tanner than me, but you are going to have trouble with a lot of these shades. The bronzer shade is very subtle and it barely shows up on me. It does give me this beautiful wash of color and warmth to the face. Very soft powder with a soft glow and warmth. So that, if you're any darker than me, I just think that's not gonna work for you. The 2 blushes. I really love this blush. It's a little bit warmer and pinker than the Marc Jacobs Air Blush Flesh and Fantasy. That's been my like ride or die blush for the last few months now. This is just a different option for me that's still very wearable. It's very smooth. It blends really beautifully. I'm wearing it today. I really, really enjoy that blush. This one, however, is a little bit too pink for me. This one is going to be Surreal Effect, which is more of that like super pinky, pale pink cool tone blush. Still very easily blendable, but I feel like people who are going to look really good with this blush is going to be very, very pale with cool undertones. I personally prefer Surreal Glow, which is this one. And then the highlight is really, really pretty. It's the Strobe powder in Surreal Strobe Light. I think it's gorgeous. It's very subtle. It's not glittery or chunky at all. It's very, very finely milled. It looks gorgeous, like you're glowing from within. That being said, the best product in this whole palette, I think, is this powder. And this is called the Finishing Powder Surreal Light. And what that does is, after you're done with your makeup, I like to go in with a powder brush, like a thinner powder brush, and just apply it all over the face, and that really just gives me this beautiful radiant glow from within. It makes your skin just look healthy and glowy. If you're really, really dry, I would recommend spraying your face with a setting spray to kind of take away some of the powder effect. But this is really gorgeous all over the neck, all over the décolleté, and it's just a really pretty powder, and it's exclusive to this palette. Now, I don't know how this is going to work with anybody deeper than me because, as you can see, it's a pretty fair powder. Most of this palette is, in my opinion, designed for pale, fair, light, slightly light medium skin tones. So for me, I really enjoy it. For those of you guys who fall in that range, that's great. As a brand trying to create something for everybody, I don't think they necessarily hit the mark right there, because I find that people who are truly tan are not going to find this palette as effective, and unfortunately that kind of sucks. So I personally love it, and I'm gonna keep using it because I do really, really love the quality. I love the shades, and I can work with every single one except for that one. It's not that I can't work with it, I just am not a huge fan of the pink blush, but I love all the other ones. So to me, it was worth it, and I love the packaging, and I did skip out on it last year. I hope that kind of answered some of the questions I got from the comments about this palette. Biggest hit for me last week was this Marc Jacobs About Last Night eyeshadow palette, and this is so gorgeous. I love the quality of Marc Jacobs eyeshadows. I feel like this is just as comparable as all of the other Marc Jacobs style icon eyeshadow palettes, except you're getting a lot more. It's also more expensive. It's just at $100 if you have tax depending where you live. And what I loved is that I had that beautiful gold that I'm wearing today that I show you guys in the insert. I have this beautiful warm brown for my crease. It's also really brightening and warming and pops open my eyes. You've got this beautiful matte beigey shade, which is great as an eyeshadow base, as a brow highlight, as just a mixing color, a blending color. And you've got so many of these other shades that you can really work with that is still very neutral and wearable, but you can do a gray smoky eye, you can do a blue smoky eye, you can do a plummy smoky eye, and you have a perfect mix of matte and shimmers and glitters, and it's just so wearable. This is a perfect day to night, from natural to glam, and the packaging is stunning. You've got a beautiful giant size mirror. You've got a beautiful sleek packaging. This is literally probably the first palette I have played with where I'm like, yes, I've got all of my shimmers. Yes, I've got my gold and my warms, and I've got my deeper shades to do a lot of other different fun looks if I needed it. I don't even know what would be missing. I think the only thing I would say is maybe missing from this palette, but I can usually work with whatever highlight I'm wearing on my face, is an inner corner highlight that is not so white, because that one I feel like is very, very white, and then there's this one that's kind of very, very pink. That's not really an inner corner highlight. That's me being like really, really constructive and being like, what would I add in addition to this that is missing? But I definitely think it's worth the money. I know it's a really expensive palette. If you're looking for a really high-end palette that is very versatile in terms of shade range and really good quality consistency throughout the whole palette, this is going to be my pick for the season. This is gonna be my pick, actually. Like, I always feel like I'm looking for the perfect palette, but this one has really been really surprisingly wonderful, and I have just found so many different looks I could do with this, and I'm not bored with it yet. Like, I'm not bored. I'm not like, oh god, I hate when I do an eyeshadow palette for Makeup Bag Monday because I want to play with other things. No, I'm totally okay with this. So that's all of my reviews from last week, and this week I thought I would start doing a theme. I've done drugstore week on my channel, I've done affordable makeup themes on my Makeup Bag Mondays, so this week I thought it would be fun to do a cruelty-free vegan week. So let's see what I have to test out for the next week. The first item is a primer from Juice Beauty. This is Illuminating Primer Base. All Juice Beauty products are organic and very, very high quality. It's luxury organic products. So I'm very interested to start playing with some of their makeup. They do make some really great skincare. Thrive Cosmetics, which is relatively new to the market, is beauty with a purpose. For every purchase made, they will donate to a woman in need. Not only are they cruelty-free vegan, it's also giving back to the community. I think this is such a great little packaging. It's super cute. The teal is so much fun, and I was really shocked at how pigmented these shadows were. I forgot to tell you guys what this is called. Focus Eyeshadow Palette number 1 is what this palette was called. I've been wearing this a lot since I got it, and this is their Thrive lip gloss in Pamela. It's a lip gloss stain. I'm wearing it today. I really, really enjoyed this one. It's not part of Makeup Bag Monday because I like to change up my lips a little more than that, but I thought I'd let you guys know that I really, really have been enjoying this since my new in beauty for October, which the giveaway is still going on. I'm giving away this giant bag of luxury goodies, and if you haven't seen that video, make sure you watch it and enter that giveaway. It's open for until the end of this month. I have another Thrive product, which is a highlight, and this is in Joy. I have some products from 100% Pure, which are not new to me, but kind of forgotten. Blush shade I have is Pretty Naked. This is their Fruit Pigmented Blush. It's a powder blush. This I bought after watching Coffee Break with Danny. She did a whole brand review of 100% pure. I have also done a like whole brand review of 100% pure. I'll try to remember to link that video in the description box, but you can also search it on my channel. So I bought this shade because I believe Danny was talking about this shade, and I want to pull this out because this kind of reminds me of Flesh and Fantasy, but if you guys are like vegan, this might work better for you. Marc Jacobs Beauty makeup is cruelty free, their fragrances is not, but if you're vegan on top of that, then I'm gonna try this out to see if the shade and the formulation is just as good as the Marc Jacobs Air Blush. I also have this powder foundation, which I use all the time, but I kind of have been distracted with my Laura Mercier powders. The Fruit Pigmented Foundation Powder in Peach Bisque. I love this. You can wear this over tinted moisturizer. You can wear this alone. You can use this as a setting powder, depending on the way you apply it with different brushes. It's a really beautiful powder, and I just really love it. It's really smooth. I feel like 100% Pure does a really good job with their powder products, and I'm gonna pull this out and kind of revisit it because it's been forgotten for a while. Product I'm kind of giving one last go with, which I did enjoy at the time, but I feel like it's starting to dry up and go bad. The 100% Pure Long Lasting Brows, and this is in soft brown. I'm wearing it today, but I feel like it's getting really kind of goopy and dry, and I've had it for maybe just under 6 months. When you have vegan, all natural products, things do go bad a little bit quicker. I have 2 more products from Thrive Cosmetics. This is going to be their Infinity Waterproof Eyeliner. I really have a hard time finding cruelty-free waterproof eyeliners that are also vegan. And then I have this Thrive Cosmetics Infinity Waterproof Brow Liner, which I also use today in conjunction with the 100% Pure Lasting Brows. So those are all the products I'll be testing out for this upcoming week, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I do my best to respond to as many as possible in a timely manner. If you wanted to check out any of these products yourself, I always link everything I talk about in the description box with clickable links. I have discount codes down there as well if you're interested in checking out some of the places that have given me discount codes. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I hope my videos help motivate and inspire you to look and feel your best from the outside in. I know when I look and feel my best on the outside, it helps me deal with whatever it is I might be struggling with on the inside, or whatever I might have to face. If anything, I hope my videos help you de-stress and relax and unwind from your day. If you're watching me before bedtime, I love watching YouTube before bedtime, so thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget, I upload 5 days a week, every Sunday through Thursday, and I have a new podcast going live every Friday on iTunes, Google Play, or directly. The links are in the description box. Follow me on my social medias. Until tomorrow, I will see you right back here for Tester Tuesday, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!